Ebola, bola, 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 bola. Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Asiago back at you again. 3 a.m. Thoughts. Alright, so here we go. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start this podcast out with a little dream I had. Sorry for the little that thing going on in the beginning. Like, I literally just got done eating some hot Cheetos and like freaking got that gooey stuff in my mouth because I still got those crumbs and my spit's just taking them in, and I'm all here like it's just kind of that weird thing. But anyways, no, let's go on. Okay, so let's start the podcast off with this weird dream I have. So this weird dream I had a long time ago, actually. I remember when I was doing the facts about dreams, even when I was doing the whole dream podcast a whole long time ago. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to I wanted to mention this one dream, but I couldn't for the life of me remember it. And so now I remember, because I literally just thought about it on my way back home from work this morning. So, like, literally this African song started playing, and just out of pure instinct, I was like, Ebola, bola, along with the beat. And I'm like, wait a second. That's the dream I wanted to freaking mention all those podcasts ago. Man, whatever. Freaking, yeah, there you go. So let me go out and explain. So let's go way back to where like Ebola was kind of like the big scare of the time, and hence why my dream was Ebola. But it literally pretty much had nothing to do with Ebola other than the word. So like literally, I had a dream where one of my friends, my boy James, So the thing about him in the dream was like he just he dropped an F-bomb and he just turned into a pig. Right? Yeah, that's like a magic word. He just dropped an F-bomb, he turned into a pig, right? And he started running around gym class, because again, I don't know why, but we were just in gym class, and he just turned into a pig. He started running around like crazy, and like I forgot most of the events that happened. But like next thing I knew, I was in the middle of the city, running away from him after chasing him down because he turned into a giant nickel. Yeah, a giant nickel, but except it wasn't Thomas Jefferson's face on the nickel. No, it was his face on the nickel, and he was going Ebola, bola, 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 bola. Like seriously, I kid you not. Man, my dreams are freaking weird. Like, and again, it had nothing to do with Ebola. He was just singing that. He was just singing that while being a giant nickel rolling across the city, destroying buildings and crushing lives. It was just a normal, dream. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to mention. Again, don't ask me why I dream these things. I don't even know why, man. Damn, talk to the damn director in my brain. He makes some weird films, man. But anyways, okay, so today we're gonna be giving you straight up facts. F-A-C-K-X, facts. Yeah, some facts about Blackberries. Yeah, not Bluetooth, Blackberries. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and do Bluetooth since I kind of mentioned it. Okay, so Bluetooth. It's kind of a weird thing, right? It's like, so we've evolved from the days where we had to like connect things, via wires. Because who likes wires, man? I mean, look around you. Who the hell uses wires anymore? Freaking AirPods, freaking Bluetooth speakers, freaking even in your car. Do you use wires? No, you just connect it straight to your freaking car. But what if you don't have that? Do you still use wires? No, you turn on the radio, and there's no freaking wire connecting you all the way to the radio station. No, it's all wireless. What about your TV remote? Does it have a wire? If it does, you're freaking weird. Tell me where to get that, because that's just too unique for me not to have. But second of all, again, why? Like, why would you have one with a wire? I mean, like the whole, like, even game consoles nowadays, freaking anything like past the PS2, freaking like PS3 onward, freaking like everything's wireless. Why the hell would you use wires these days? Wires, they suck. I mean, sure, I'm using a wire to keep my computer plugged in. Sure, I'm using a wire to keep my microphone plugged into the computer. And sure, I'm even being a scrub here, and I'm using a freaking wired pair of headphones to freaking keep my thing connected to my microphone. So yeah, okay, so maybe a little bit of wires still need to exist in this world. Other than that, freaking yeah, why wires? Hell, even a lot of smartphones, even including my phone, freaking like all these phones these days, they have freaking wireless charging. Again, wires. Why even bother with wires? Like hell, with wireless charging exists, like you know what? If wireless charging exists, why the hell doesn't wireless freaking plugging exist? Like freaking, why do I have to connect my computer via a wire into my wall socket in order for it to stay on? Like, it doesn't make sense. Why not just create, you know, a wireless power source? You know, just like I get the computer has one thing built inside it, and then you know, and I have this plug outlet that sticks into the wall, and then bam, it just wirelessly powers itself. I mean, why can't I have something like that? I mean, come on, we're in the 2020s now, man. Like, we should be more advanced as this. We should be exploring the galaxy by now. Although I do theorize we're pretty much doing that, except you know, they just don't want to tell us. But those are other facts for other times. But anyways, Bluetooth. Wires. Who the hell likes wires? Who the hell uses wires? Hell, look at your body. Does your body have wires? Well, actually, now I think about it, yeah, kinda. I mean, I'm looking at my wrist right now, and I'm seeing a couple veins. You know, veins are just pretty much wires in your body. Okay, you know, we humans, we haven't evolved yet to freaking to have wireless, you know, organs and wireless body systems yet. You know, but whatever. Our bodies are super old anyway, so they're just stuck in a stone age. But anyways, yeah. Wires. Who the hell likes wires? That's why Mr. Blue Jack Jackson, you know, that's his name. I swear, you know, this is a fact. That's his name, Blue Jack Jackson. No, Blue Jack Jackson, he was best known for one thing and one thing only. It was in his mouth and it was bright and blue. You want to know what it was? His tongue. But the second thing people knew what he was for was his golden eye. Like, seriously, like, literally the game GoldenEye 007 was literally created because of him. Not because of the movie, not because of the book GoldenEye 007. No, not after James Bond. No, all that stuff is a lie. No, freaking GoldenEye 007 was a game inspired by the real life of freaking Blue Jack Jackson. Yep, a Blue Jack Jackson. You know, with his blue tongue, his golden eye, and his one and only fake blue tooth. Now, maybe asking, yeah, so okay, so Blue Jack Jackson, you know, he had a freaking you know, blue tooth. Okay, you know, so what did that tooth do? Let me tell you what that tooth did. It chewed food. That's what it did. Freaking Blue Jack Jackson, you know, he really loved to modify all of his parts. Let me tell you that much. I mean, I didn't know the guy myself, but hell, man, I can look at a guy and I can tell you his entire life story just by the way he looks. And let me tell you, when I saw Blue Jack Jackson cooking up some meth on the side of the road the other day, freaking, I was like, yep, I could tell that guy's life story, man. You know, they made the freaking life was good at the time. Life was good, but then he watched the movie, you know, and he realized, I don't have to live with these body parts. I can change them out. You know, so he took out a loan, started doing that at the doctor's office way too many times, and yeah, he became super ugly. He became really biogenetic or bio-cybernetic or whatever it's called. You know, he started to look like a really ugly version of somebody from Cyberpunk 2077. And that game hadn't count. And at the time he realized that the game wasn't even the game that wasn't even announced yet. It didn't exist. This was like the 90s, man. Freaking, he had no idea that he just looked like a cybernetic freak. A cyborgic freak, whatever, however you want to say it. This guy had a golden eye, which again they made a video game out of it, so he paid him back some money so he could pay off his loan. But the damn thing is I still had a blue tongue for all the blue drugs he had to do. Yeah, he had to eat a whole bunch of blue drugs. Yes, he ate blue drugs because I mean that's all he ever bought. He went to his drug dealer and he bought a year's supply of drugs, and freaking he had no money left for food. So what was he gonna eat? Rocks. Freaking scraps from the garbage? No, this dude had a bunch of drugs on him, man. He ate drugs. That's how he lived. That's how he breathed. That's how he almost died. Because he didn't die though, because he's still alive to this day. Blue Jack Jackson with his super cool blue tooth. You want to know what his super cool blue tooth did? It ate wires. Yeah, that's right. Because this dude was like, you know what? I really love spaghetti. You know, Blue Jack Jackson, he really loves spaghetti. You know, he loves spaghetti so much that, like, he literally painted his tooth blue, then proceeded to tear it out. But then, like, proceeded to, you know, to find this weird blue object he found on the ground. It was glowing, you know, and it came from the sky, you know, as if, like, it was some kind of alien turd or something like that. He stuck it in his mouth where he pulled out his tooth. You know, then he sold his tooth for money, which, you know, on the black market, they'll buy all kinds of stuff. But he sold his tooth And then he got his new, brand new blue glowing rock, and he stuck it up his gum, and there you go. Freaking there you go. Yeah. Blue Jack Jackson had a Bluetooth, and he was like, I want to eat some, but for some reason I have a real big craving for spaghetti. But the problem is I'm homeless and I'm kind of hungry and I don't have money for food. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make my own spaghetti. I'm gonna go to this tech shop right here and just eat all the wires like a mouse. So this dude, he goes into the nearest tech shop, like Best Buy or something like that. Nah, Circuit City, because I mean, trust me, man, this is an old story. Yeah, this is old news, but this is old facts. But I'm bringing it to you straight, man. So, anyways, so this dude, man, he goes into the Circuit City, man. So he's like, okay, so where do I find some wires? Okay, so he busts open like a freaking computer CPU. And he's like, oh damn, what's all this green stuff? Ugh, motherboards? Ugh, no, I can't eat that. Oh wait, let me take a bite of that. Ow! Okay, that hurt my new tooth. Alright, I need something soft on my new tooth while it settles into my mouth. Okay. Oh, what's this? Wires. So he with this big old blue glowing tooth. His Bluetooth. He goes out here and he bites the crap out of wires, man. This dude is biting wires left and right, and bam, there you freaking go. He made the first wireless computer. Freaking. He turned like a normal, run-of-the-mill freaking normal office computer into a freaking laptop just by eating the wires. Yes, it works that way. Do not try it at home because it's very dangerous. But yes, that's exactly how it works. That's exactly how you make a laptop. It's just eat all the wires in your freaking computer and it works. Trust me, man, I'm giving you the facts. You can't handle these facts. You can't even describe how true these facts are. But anyways, yeah, so he created the first laptop and the Circuit City guy was like, hey man, this place is closed. What is that? Did you just make that? What is this? There was a lot of confusion going on there. He went to jail. He got his Bluetooth stolen. And then the guy stole his Bluetooth. He got out of prison, and Blue Jack Jackson was just he just brought him in jail for the rest of his life. May God rest his soul. But anyways, the guy that stole Blue Jack Jackson's freaking Bluetooth, man, like all of a sudden everything he would touch would lose its wires. Like, you know what? Freaking, remember earlier when I mentioned, yeah, your freaking freaking television remotes? They don't have wires. You want to know why? Because this dude, he was at a TV shop, and all he did was just try to use the tooth, to pay for a new TV. But you know what it did? It literally just made all the wires for all the freaking TV remotes disappear. Yes, TV remotes did have wires. Like that's true facts. No, don't argue with me about this, man. That's true facts, man. The whole reason why every single television on the planet that uses remotes has wireless remotes is not for like the lies. Don't believe the lies about infrared technology. No, that stuff doesn't exist. But we know it does exist. Wires. And not anymore for freaking remotes because freaking Blue Jack Jackson's Bluetooth freaking made them all disappear. And anytime they got anywhere close to a different piece of technology, it would change it forever. It would make it wireless, man. Freaking like in more recent times, yeah, freaking Blue Jack Jackson's old tooth. I mean, it travels from place to place, from person to person, because like literally, like that tooth. I mean, the story of the tooth alone is just so extravagant, so huge, so grand. Because it just always ends up in the hands of somebody else. Never a big shot, never a rich person, never anybody that can truly make a change in the technological industry. No, it's just some run-of-the-mill person, just your average Joe. Whether they may be an normie, whether they may be a weeb, whether they may be whatever. The Bluetooth just ends up going everywhere. But anyways. But the guy that invented the term Bluetooth, yes, he was the one. Yeah, he was like about like the third or fourth owner of the Bluetooth. So he was like, hey, you know what? This Bluetooth does miracles. Because of this, I don't need wires in my life anymore. I don't need wires in my life anymore. This Bluetooth fixes everything. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna name the technology Bluetooth. I'm gonna make a fortune off it. And then he just proceeds to lose it, because a squirrel comes through his window and steals it because he thinks it's a glowing acorn, and then it ends up biting it and realizes this ain't no acorn, and freaking just tosses it about, and then some school kid gets it, and he goes near a telephone. You know what happens to that telephone? Bam, cordless phone. I know it's not Bluetooth, but I mean that's because the people like to lie to you, man. The people love to lie to you. Yeah, cordless phones, Bluetooth, because Blue Jack Jackson's Bluetooth was right next to a phone one day, and literally every phone in the world that day instantaneously turned cordless. Now you may be asking yourselves, but there still exist wire telephones now. They may not be in use, but they still exist. I mean, look, I got one right here. No, what you got is a fake. It's a replica, man. Even if you say it's an original antique or something from like the freaking 50s or something, no, that is a replica. The moment Blue Jack Jackson's Bluetooth was found near a telephone, every single telephone with a wire turned into a cordless phone. And then people were like, oh man, I'm so nostalgic for those wires, man. Remember how curly they used to be? They used to be like curly fries. I would get confused. Now I end up trying to eat them. You know what? I'm just gonna make a replica. Make a replica. Pretend that's been a family heirloom since like 1948, and there you go. That we can have wires again. And the reason why those wires haven't existed because they're not real. They're not real. They're not freaking real wires, man. They're lies. But anyways, so moving forward, so Blue Jack Jackson's Bluetooth. More recent days, the AirPods. Do you really think freaking Apple, really made wireless earbuds? No, that's funny. First of all, other people have been doing it before. But second of all, freaking that's because a long time ago, again, another freaking lucky person got a hold. It was like the next chosen one for the freaking for the freaking Bluetooth. And his name was Chosen Juan. Yes, his name is Chosen Juan. Chosen Juan. He was literally the chosen one by destiny itself, because his name was Chosen Juan. So then the Bluetooth chose him, and they invented Bluetooth earphones, headphones, everything, the Macs, the works, all that. And then Apple stole the idea for themselves, years after it existed, and they're like, hey, look at this, it's our idea, see, and the only reason why freaking Chosen Juan, the only reason why he invented it was because, again, he had a Bluetooth. He was listening, when the Bluetooth chose him, freaking he was listening to music. He was listening to some good old Mexican rock and roll on his on his little iPod there, and he was like, yeah, this song rocks, and then all of a sudden the Bluetooth chose him. It kind of struck him like a bullet. It was like, ay, mi torso, and then he looks down. First of all, he doesn't see a gunshot wound, but second of all, he also sees that the wires that connected his headphones to the freaking iPod, they disappeared, but he was still able to listen to the music, and it was like, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah, I can dance to this, man. I can dance without having to worry about my wires running into things. Yes, this is good fun. Well, muy bueno. And from there, that's how things went down. Freaking Bluetooth created a revolution, all because some guy named Bluetooth Jackson decided, hey, there's a glowy thing on the floor and it's blue. I don't know what this means, but I'm gonna put it in my mouth. And from there, the whole world changed, man. Wires extinct. Almost, kinda, not really, because we still have wires everywhere, but we're slowly losing wires, people. We just need that Bluetooth to keep flying around and choosing more people. I mean, that's the thing. But anyways, forget enough about Bluetooth. So let's go on to Blackberry. So Blackberry. Let me tell you about Blackberries, man. So I'm old enough to say I remember a time when Blackberries, first of all, when they existed, but second of all, I remember a time when Blackberries were more popular than smartphones. Let me tell you that. Yeah, kids. There was a time. I'm telling you, this is an actual fact. Yes, this is an actual fact. There was a time when that freaking phone, there were phones with buttons were more popular than freaking touchscreen phones and iPhones and then phones that can access Facebook, if you even know what a Facebook is. But anyways, going on. So once upon a time, there was this dude. He was sitting in the Garden of Eden, or so he thought. He was actually in the Houston Zoo, but he didn't have to know that. Just let him live his fantasy. But anyways, he was in the Garden of Eden, and he was just eating some blackberries. Again, it it was rat feces. But you know what? He didn't have to know that. Just let him live his fantasy. You know. He's over here, you know, he's sitting in the Garden of Eden, eating his blackberries, you know, soaking out in the sun. It wasn't actually a sun, man. He was literally just staring into the freaking flashlight on his phone. But again, he didn't need to know that. Just let him have his fun, you know. And again, you know, he was just sitting there in the Garden of Eden, eating some blackberries with his face in the sun. He was like, man, this is the life, brother. This is the life. I love these blackberries so much. They have so much flavor in them. Like, as if I can taste the history of this thing, like the process of what made these berries. They're so good. I can make a juice out of this stuff, man. This is great, brother. This is great, you know. And so he gets up and he's like, you know what? I got an idea. I'm gonna all these blackberries I'm eating. I'm gonna turn them into a phone. You know, again, the rat poop was getting to his brain, so I mean, he had no idea what he was doing. But because he didn't know what he was doing, he ended up creating the world's first Blackberry. Yes, Blackberry, man. You know, so the whole point of Blackberry was to be a phone with as many buttons as possible. Yeah, like, cause this dude, I mean, well, first of all, this dude wasn't thinking about buttons. This dude was thinking about berries, cause he wanted to create the world's first bunch of blackberries, cause he's never seen a bunch of blackberries before. He's seen a bunch of grapes, he's seen a bunch of raspberries, but no blackberries. You know, so what this dude did was, you know, he'd be like, you know what? These blackberries, I've never seen them together. I mean, they're kind of together on the floor, but like they're never like anywhere else, man. I can never find them on a tree or a bush or whatever, man. Like, I need to get these blackberries and I need to put them together somehow. I got an idea. You know, so this dude, he was kind of a freaking technology addict. You know, he was real interested in the whole robotics thing in school. You know, he was interested in motherboards and stuff. You know, even though he didn't understand a lick of knowledge about technology, and you know, he was all interested in wires and stuff. Even though, you know, Blue Jackson's Bluetooth, you know, kind of made those disappear. So, but anyways. Now going forward, this one dude, you know, with his blackberries, he's like, you know what? I have an idea. So I'm gonna make a tray, and it's gonna have the blackberries on them. So we can keep them together like a you know, like a bunch. And then it's gonna have a fancy dancy little thingamabobber here. You know, again, this dude was using a freaking Game Boy. You know, he kind of mutilated this Game Boy by getting a knife and cutting up a big old hole and right in the center. You know, and he was pointing at the screen, and then he decided, you know what, I could put a bunch of blackberries in here and have them together like a bunch. You know, so this dude did what he did. You know, he slapped a few things together, and all of a sudden, freaking he heard the Game Boy ring, and he was like, what is this? Let me go ahead and press this Blackberry that kind of looks like a phone icon. Beep. Oh, hello? Oh, yes, Mr. Watson, come here. He was like, oh, you got the wrong number. First of all, this ain't a phone. Second of all, well, I'm not sure what's going on here. Bye-bye. Beep. And so there you go. He created the world's first Blackberry phone. And then from there, you know, like like Bill Nye the Science, well, not Bill Nye the Science Guy. Well, he was Will Nye, who likes to eat Wi-Fi and watch hentai and steal your Wi-Fi. He works at Best Buy, who likes to eat my pie, who flies across the sky, who looks like he's high. You know, he went around. Well, we're just gonna call him Will Nye for short. But anyways, freaking, so he came around and freaking he was like, hey. Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, I'm a CEO of a company. You know, I could really use that little, what you call that? And this dude was like, well, this is a Blackberry bunch. Well, I got an idea. Well, let's drop the bunch and let's just call it a Blackberry. Yeah, but sir, this is a bunch. It's a bunch of blackberries. It ain't just one. Well, I'm a CEO of a company and I know what works. So let me just take that Blackberry from you and I'll do what I do and I'll be on my way. And so you know Will Nye, the big old many different words that end with I, you know, the cool sky guy. You know, he freaking comes by. You see, he steals the very first Game Boy Blackberry prototype thingy, and then he runs away. You know, and he's like, alrighty, so I got a good idea. You know what, folks? We're gonna make this fun. we're gonna make this good. We're gonna make this great. You know, let's get our CEO of Fun up in here. Yeah, let's get our CEO of Fun up in here. Hey, Mr. CEO of Fun, how do you think we can make this phone marketable? Well, you see, I have a good idea. First of all, make it entirely black, and all those rat turds, don't use rat turds. Instead, why don't you actually put buttons? You know, phones exist these days. You know, phones are fun. Phones are cool. You know, they make calls, the buttons make noise, and they ring. But anyways, you know, phones can be pretty much cooler. Because you know what makes phones cool? The buttons. You can never have a phone without buttons. I mean, that will never exist. But anyways, so I was thinking, what if you put as many buttons as possible? You know, as many buttons as possible all into one phone. There we go. That would definitely kick out Nokia. That would kick out Motorola. That would kick out all these other phones that are trying to take our business. Yes, this is how we'll create phones from now on. As many buttons as humanly possible. Someday we'll get rid of the screen and we'll have more room for more buttons. Make it full of buttons. Pronto. Alright, Sonny. Alright, Mr. CEO of Fun. You are gonna get what you get. You know, so they go on and they freaking they do their thing, you know. They're swallowing some spit, but anyways, yeah, so there you go, man. That's how they created the world's first Blackberry, and the Blackberry was really cool amongst, you know, boring people like businessmen and lawyers and Joe. But anyways, yeah, so that's the pretty much the story of Blackberry. And then freaking back in 07, you know, Steve Jobs came by, God rest his soul. You know, he was like, you know what? I just bit into an apple and I thought, you see this phone here? It has way too many damn buttons. I don't like buttons. You know, I want more screen. But the thing is, how the hell are you supposed to navigate a phone without a screen? Well, I have an idea. What if I just invented a new kind of technology where you can use your finger to control the screen without buttons? I hate buttons so much, and we can finally achieve my dream of getting rid of buttons for good. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Blackberry wants to piss me off by making phones with more and more buttons on them. Well, I'm gonna piss them off by taking away those buttons as soon as they put them on. Here's the iPhone. Buy it today. You know, and then there's the story of the iPhone, the very first modern smartphone. You know, and there you go. And then people and the customers are like, you know what? Yeah, buttons aren't cool. Why would we need buttons for? You know, just like wires, buttons are going to become obsolete someday. I hate buttons too, even though they feel fun to push down and they make things happen. You know, and I do have an obsession with pushing buttons. But you know what though? That obsession is going to go away whenever I finally hit replace every little thing with buttons on them, including toilets. You know, anything with buttons, levers, switches, everything. You know. Even game controllers, they're all gonna use touch controls. Yes, we hate buttons. We are now a society that's just against buttons. You know, let's just take these buttons away, starting with the iPhone. Hooray! You know, and that's the story of how iPhone completely trumped Blackberry, because more and more people got into this. You know, they jumped onto this bandwagon about we hate buttons. I mean, literally, it was hashtag we hate buttons. Don't look it up because you'll find a bunch of lies and you'll probably find a bunch of weird stuff probably. So don't look it up. And besides, you know, again, don't argue me with this. You know, this is true facts. I was old enough to witness this happen, even though I was like freaking like 9 at the time. Freaking don't even at me, man. Don't even at me. Don't even at 9-year-old me. You know, I saw what I saw. I know what I know, and I'm giving you these straight facts, and you can't deny them. Even if you try to prove me wrong, you can't deny them. You know. But anyways, you know, going on. Yeah, so smartphones, man, really amazing devices, aren't they? In fact, mine's so amazing, the battery dies every 5 minutes because I've used it so much, the battery is now crap. You know, it's utter freaking crap, which kind of sucks because the phone itself is actually pretty damn cool. It's actually my favorite phone that I've ever had yet, and I only got it like 2 years ago, but well, whatever. But anyways, yeah, my battery is just utter crap because I use my phone so much because I love it so much. You know, phones really are amazing things. You know, freaking you make calls. and not make calls. But anyways, yeah, freaking, I'm always on my phone though. I'm always on the Facebook and the Instagram and well, not so much the Twitter, unless I'm looking up anime stuff or unless I'm looking up things to make fun of, like, oh, Peter. I don't know. I literally just have literally on my entire freaking Twitter, I only have one like follower on there. His name is Peter, and you know what he does? He posts pictures of French fries. That's all. This dude, all he does all day is post pictures of French fries. Occasionally on Fridays, he'll post a video of himself eating a French fry. But that's it, just one French fry. And then he would say, yeah, and then that's it. But anyways, enough about Peter, enough about Twitter. Phones are amazing things. I edit videos on them, I make memes, sometimes I record things, I take pictures, I look at memes, I look at anime, I look at YouTube videos, I listen to music, I listen to podcasts, we do all kinds of stuff on our phones. Some people even play Fortnite on their phones. God rest their souls. But anyways, yeah, a lot of people, do a lot of stuff on a lot of their phones. It's a pretty common practice to do these days. We're in the 2020s. I mean, come on, it's natural. But anyways, just freaking you're just thinking about it. Where would be today if I lost my train of thought. Exactly. And that's another thing too. The freaking smartphones are so freaking like amazing that we can't possibly like do anything without losing our train of thought now these days, because our brains are just so used to just being preoccupied with these things all the time, every moment of every day. Like, we just have to have these things. Like, it's impossible to live without them because smartphones are just amazing, right? And as soon as the battery dies, I've heard people say, yeah, when your battery dies and once it gets past 1%, you should be happy. You should be excited because then you can get back to real life. And I'm like, I'll just find a charger, bro. But secondly, I'll be like, no, when the battery dies, I die, because that's my whole life right there, man. I pay my taxes on that thing. I look at stocks, I look at pictures of dogs on the internet that make me happy, I look up freaking like how big what's the diameter of the moon, I look up stuff like, what's the history of Guatemala. I can't live without that stuff. I truly need that stuff. And once the battery dies, I die. And now that my battery is just screwed up to the max, I'm screwed up to the max, man. Like, seriously, the phones are amazing because they've become part of us. And soon in 2077, I kid you not, I've been there before. Yes, I have been there before because I have a time machine. You don't know about my time machine because I never told you until just now. And you know why? You know how I can travel through time? You know what is my time machine? My phone. Because there's a time machine app. Yes, there's a time machine app. No, you cannot use it because it's still in its beta and I'm the only person who can use it. But anyways, yes, there is a time machine app and I use it. I fast forward time to freaking 2077. First of all, not too bad. The original actor for Ronald McDonald's dead. But aside from that, freaking, what's that old lady's name? Actually, there's two old ladies that are around today. They're still freaking alive. Queen Elizabeth and Betty White. They're still alive, and they're the emperors of the world. But anyways, but not even just that. Freaking everybody has implanted their phones into their bodies so much that the wires inside our bodies. First of all, it's even in 2077, our bodies still haven't evolved to have not have wires anymore. Obviously, something happened with Blue Jack Jackson's Bluetooth because it still hasn't hit us yet. Or hit enough people yet to where, yeah, we can evolve without wires in our bodies. But second of all, second of all, damn, like we become our phones. Like, literally, like, we see the screens in our eyes. We can see we can see our social media's Reddit feed or whatever on our eyes, or while on our hands, we can watch YouTube videos, and while the other hand, we can check our stocks while with our left foot, we can pretend we're driving in a racing game, while with the other foot, we can pretend to lose weight by tapping our foot a bunch of times. There's all kinds, like, our bodies become phones. It's just like Cyberpunk 2077. In 2077, we become the very things that we're so attached to. And that's what's so amazing about smartphones. And it all started with someone who had a huge, upsetting, like, anti-fetish of buttons. Yes, anti-fetish. That's the right term. But anyways, yes, an anti-fetish of buttons, because he absolutely hated buttons, but he loved screens. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna create touchscreens. And from that day on, that is how we have that's how we've come to the smartphones we know and love today, and soon will be part of in the future. But anyways, yeah, man, freaking, they're just amazing. But you know what else is amazing though? The universe. I mean, of course. I mean, we live here. But anyways, so there's all kinds of strange things in the universe. You know, there's black holes, there's time warps, there's just normal warps. You know, there's Chewbacca and Bacchus. But you know, there's all kinds of stuff. You know, there's Andromeda, there's suns, there's freaking worlds out there. Although a lot of them pretty much suck because we won't be able to live on them. But still, this universe, it's so huge, brother. It's so huge that you gotta think, man. There's gotta be more to this universe than just us, man. I mean, there's gotta be all kinds of stuff out there. I mean, imagine all the kinds of intergalactic chickens that we're missing out on just because we can't get off of this stupid rock. Like, seriously, there's all kinds of freaking stuff out there. Now, and you can pretty much guess what I'm leading into next, man. There's gotta be intelligent rocks out there, man. I'm telling you, intelligent rocks. Like, just think about it. You know, you've seen that movie Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where like literally, you know, freaking, oh, this is spoilers by the way, where Peter Quill's dad becomes an entire planet, or he reveals that he is the entire planet. He is Ego, the living planet. And you're telling me in this ginormous universe that we live in, where there's all kinds of possibilities, all kinds of freaking probabilities, that there cannot be a living planet? I mean, hell, what if the Earth is a living planet? I mean, think about it. It's the only planet that we know of, or at least that we can perceive in this solar system, with trees, with plants, with all kinds of stuff on it. You know? And people like to say, yes, this is the only planet with life. But what if this is the only planet that is alive? What if we're living on a living planet? It just hasn't developed its face or anything like that, like Ego. You know, and like, just think about it, man. It's like it's you know, the lava, the magma, it's his blood. The volcanoes are its pimples. Freaking, but then what does it eat? How does it crap out? You know, like, how does it crap out the food it eats? Well, let's see. Well, for one thing, I know for a fact that whenever we have an earthquake somewhere, the Earth is hungry. You know, it needs to eat. It needs to feed. What does it do to feed? It kills things. You know, sometimes, you know, it might just an earthquake is enough, you know, to kill a bunch of people, and the Earth devours them, and there you go. You know, and it's fed for a good little while. Or sometimes it'll just, you know, it'll just wait for a freaking animal to just die, and then it'll just consume it. You know, I mean, what do you think fungus is? What do you think fungi is? If fungi is literally the Earth's digestive system, freaking digesting anything that's around us. And what do you think freaking like insects, worms, and all, and maggots and all that are? You know, they're not just free flowing insects. Why do you think they look so damn weird? It's because they're part of the Earth's digestive system. You see, they break it down and they feed it back into the Earth, you know, back into the soil, and that's because the soil is the Earth's crap. Like, it's literally the Earth's freaking turds, man. Like, all the dirt you see out there that you used to love to roll around in, all that, you're rolling in the Earth's doo-doo, man. Like, straight up facts. You can't deny me on this, man. Because we're living on a living planet. And even if you don't want to believe this is a living planet, because this is an intelligent planet, it's living, but it's an intelligent. You know, it's kind of like an animal. You know, they're alive, but they also kind of dumb because they don't have their own cities and they can't use a phone. But, you know, or freaking Blue Jackson's Bluetooth hasn't even touched it yet. But anyways, freaking, yeah, man. Like, freaking, like again, this isn't an intelligent rock. It's just a rock that's alive. You know, and I'm thinking, in this ginormous universe full of life, or well, actually, if anything, it's the opposite. But like, full of just infinite possibilities. You can't tell me that there isn't a living planet or another living planet That's an intelligent living planet. That's probably coming towards us right now and going, ooh, there's another living planet. Hey, come here, baby. Let me buy you a drink. Oh, you're already looking like a drink. Okay, you got, oh, you're 70% water. Oh, wow, yeah. Come here. I'm going to give you a big old sloppy wet kiss. You know, like, again, what do you think Planet X was? Yeah, remember the whole Planet X, quote unquote conspiracies during the whole 2012 thing? Yeah, again, yeah, do you remember 2012? I remember 2012. Freaking, it was horrible when the world ended, man. Like, you know, like literally, and it did end. It's straight up facts. You cannot deny, you know, and because I've been there. I'm old enough to remember 2012. I mean, come on. This is 2021, except for the numbers flipped and everything else flipped, you know? So yeah, 2012, man. You know, I remember when the world ended. It was terrible. You know, rebuilding was just a hassle, man. They got every man, woman, and child, you know, to just come together and like just rebuild the entire Earth. You know how hard it is to use a freaking hammer in space. But anyways, you know, with a whole lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and our tears had to be we actually had to cry a lot because of the fact that when the Earth died, you know, it ran out of water. You know, and we're like, well, damn, where are we gonna get new water? We can't just go to Space Walmart and buy more water. No, like, first of all, it's too far away, but second of all, we don't have enough freaking galaxy points to buy any. So what are we gonna do? Cry. And, you know, and then, you know, we had that one guy going, oh, crying doesn't solve a damn thing. Don't you dare cry on me, so boys and girls are idiots and squirrels. No, but it really did though. Like, seriously, go out there to the ocean right now, or to a river, or to a creek, or to a sea, or to anything, and just start licking the water. And I guarantee you, it's gonna taste weird. Well, first of all, because there's a whole bunch of stuff in it, but second of all, freaking because all that water was our tears. I mean, seriously, this Earth has so many people. I can't tell you. I mean, you can't tell me that freaking miracles don't happen. And the miracle happened when everybody on this planet came together. We all cried our tears at the same time, and we refilled the Earth's water supply when we rebuilt this planet bit by bit, rock by rock, with our very tears. Yes, we cried enough tears to fill up the oceans. It was crazy, man. It was also very sad, also very depressing. But anyways, yes, and again, because of our tears, our love tears, we were able to revive this dying planet, or this dead planet. And now, this unintelligent living rock is alive again! And freaking Planet X is still coming after us because he's like, oh, you're back from the restroom, baby. Let me buy you a drink. Looking like a good drink. Come here. You know, Planet X, yes, it's a real thing. You know what's on Planet X? More rocks. You know, it's weird, you know, because planets themselves are just giant rocks, you know, but they're giant rocks with other unalive, unintelligent rocks on them, you know, first of all. But second of all, you know what else lives on Planet X? Aliens. Yes, I guarantee you this, aliens. You know, I remember a couple of podcasts ago, you know, I was talking with my boy Caleb, you know, and I was saying, okay, you know what, if I imagine, you know, there are aliens out there, which I guarantee, I'm telling you straight up facts, FAHCGQ X, you know, straight up facts, you know, that aliens do exist. And let me tell you what, you know, I remember a couple podcasts ago, I did say that yes, that if there aliens did exist, you know, given the conditions that we give a planet to sustain, not only just sustain life, but to sustain intelligent life, there pretty much would have to be humans, you know, but humans that would derive from another planet, you know, as simple as that, just very boring. But the truth is, though, is that, again, we live in a universe full of all kinds of possibilities, man. Like, I can't even tell you. It's just insane. You know, it's insane, the possibilities. And let me tell you what, many of the possibilities are that aliens could have also evolved from things that thrive on many things that we humans would just die of in a second, like extreme temperatures, no oxygen, freaking having goo on each tentacle that freaking mutates anything it touches. Like, seriously, I'm telling you, like, on Planet X, and I know because I've been talking with this guy for a good while, so Okay, so and you know what? Next podcast next week, he's coming onto the show. His name is Hilo. His name is Hilo, and unfortunately, because I'm not Elon Musk, I don't have the brains or the money to freaking make myself a spaceship and go up there and take the podcast to him, and record it with him on his own foreign planet. And also I also lack an intergalactic passport. So you know what this means? Hilo has to be an illegal alien. He's gonna have to illegally. Hilo is gonna have to illegally cross into the Earth's atmosphere. Again, unregulated, undocumented. He's gonna have to cross into the Earth's atmosphere and freaking crash land here on Earth just so he can come to my studio and I can have an interview with him. Yes, freaking for the first time on 3 a.m. Thoughts, I'm going to have an illegal alien here on the show. He's from Planet X. His name is Hilo. Yes, his name is actually Hilo. And I was asking, why is your name Hilo? You know what? I'm gonna let him answer those questions in our next podcast next week. But anyways, yes. So his name is Hilo. He's the perfect example of aliens that don't meet the criteria. Intelligent aliens that don't meet the criteria that scientists on here on Earth freaking give for a planet to have freaking life, intelligent life on them. But let me tell you this, when a creature lives on an intelligent planet, all kinds of things can happen, man. All kinds of crazy, wacky things that you would never even imagine would happen. I mean, think about this. So now we know for a fact that there exists like this intelligent being that's not human-like at all. I mean, seriously, he's got one eye. He's got a really big smile that can kill a man. He's got 2 tentacles. He doesn't even have any fingers or hands or whatever. Literally tentacles. But watch out for his goo that comes out of him. Because, hey, let me tell you what. First of all, it smells like crap. I'm gonna introduce Hilo to deodorant whenever he comes by. But another thing is that if you touch the goo, it has properties inside of it that mutates anybody that freaking touches it. Like, let me tell you, because I was talking, and the way I was talking to him was that I was sending him an email. Or actually, I was sending myself an email, but then there was some weird like interference going on, and I was like, oh, it's Bluetooth. Jackson's Bluetooth. It's interfering with my computer. Oh, it's gonna become wireless. Freaking. Well, first of all, my computer turned into a laptop, so that was pretty cool. So now I can take my computer anywhere I go. But second of all, freaking, it interfered, and it turns out Blue Jack Jackson's freaking Bluetooth all this time was Hilo's greatest turd. Yes, it was Hilo's greatest turd. That would explain the smell, first of all, and also that would explain the glowing. But second of all, yeah, again, even his very turd has properties that change the things around it. Again, like freaking Hilo's goo, it has the power to mutate any living thing into some other different mutated random thing. And his turd, his special turd, is able to freaking change the properties of technology. It removes the wires of everything. Freaking what you call it, like, is goo. It has the same kind of properties. This dude is phenomenal. But anyways, yeah, his blue poo. Yeah, so it's not, we can't even call it a Bluetooth anymore. It's blue poo. Well, his blue poo interfered my freaking it interfered my freaking email. And I ended up sending an email to Hilo, and I'm like, wait, what is this email address? Why is it in a foreign language? I hadn't even seen this language. It looked, at first I thought it was Japanese, but then like it looked a little Arabic. But then I realized there's triangles. This is Greek. Wait a second. What's that squiggly? That squiggly doesn't even exist in any kind of freaking Earth language. Wait, what is this? Why is there like, what shape is that? What is this? He invented. Wait, did we invent new shapes? What is this? Hell. And then like the ads, and then like it was like the only way I can describe it, the email was at .com. It was all weird and stuff. I couldn't even understand it. Again, it didn't even look like language. As a matter of fact, it looked like whenever you record stuff on your phone and you can see like all like the little ups and downs, like what you're recording. Yeah, that's what it looked like. It didn't even look like language. But anyways. Freaking again, so the email popped up, and then Hilo started talking to me in English. So he was like,
Hi, my name is Hilo. I learned English. I would like to talk to who this is.
And I'm like, oh, hi, yo, this is your boy, Asiago, not on 3am Thoughts. How are you doing? And he was like,
Oh, I'm doing fine. I live on Planet X. We are coming to kiss your planet with a sloppy, wet kiss.
and I'm like, oh, no, not like that worship song. But anyways, but then I was like, oh, wow, can you please turn around? I don't feel like dying again. You know, I already died again 9 years ago. That sucked. Can you please not do it again?
And he was like, sorry, but I can't do it. This planet has a literal mind of its own.
And like literally my mind was blown. And I was like, oh, you're kidding me. Intelligent planets exist. I freaking knew it. I flipping knew it. I told you I flipping knew it. But anyways, yeah, so freaking God, so many things. Like we had some of the best conversations. And then like by the end of it all, I was like, you know what? Hilo, I want you to come onto my podcast. And he was like,
but I can't. Hilo don't have intergalactic passport.
And I'm like, I don't have one either. So I wouldn't be able to go up there with you. And also, space travel costs a lot of money. It also requires a lot of smarts. And quite frankly, I'm actually very dumb. Except when it comes to facts. But anyways, yeah, I am very, very dumb. You know, so I can't make myself a spaceship. You know, it's not like over there on Planet X where you have just cars that can travel from A to B, even if it's all the way to the next galaxy. You know, it's, you know, freaking just come down over here. You know, this again, Earth doesn't have any border controls laws yet, so but we do have a space force. You're just gonna have to get past them. So come on, man, just let's go. You know, let's just come out here on Earth, and I'll just come into my studio. Here, I'll give you my address. And he was like, what are these characters? I can't understand them. And I was like, oh, these are things called numbers. And you know, we had a big old conversation about that. But anyways, freaking you know, push comes to shove, you know, later, bygones be bygones, later and later, you know, finally we settled an agreement, you know, I even called him one last time, like, you know, to confirm everything. It's gonna play after this, it's gonna play after this podcast, you know, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, yeah, so Hilo, yeah, man, he's coming out to the podcast. He's gonna tell us all about what's going on. You know, it's very cool. It's very cool, man, because I'm telling you straight up facts, and I finally have freaking existential proof that I can show y'all on here on the podcast, man. This is so exciting. Like, oh my god, like I can't hold in my excitement, man. Oh, freaking Hilo is coming. He's gonna tell us all more facts about his planet. Oh man, just hopefully he doesn't kill us by then. But anyways, yeah. Like, bro, like, let me tell you, man, aliens, so weird. But anyways, let's step away from Hilo real quick, because you know we're gonna get a lot of him on the next podcast. But let's focus on some others. So earlier I mentioned, yeah, you know, there could be just millions upon billions upon trillions of ultimate alien chickens that we have been missing out on because we can't get off this stupid hot damn rock. You know, and I'm thinking, imagine how a Popeye's chicken sandwich would be if we can go to freaking Alpha Centauri and we can eat their chickens. Like, their chickens are they're probably off the chain, man. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if freaking Popeyes freaking right now, as you're listening to this podcast, freaking drives up, they freaking blast off into space and they go into Alpha Centauri and they're like, yeah, we're gonna set up the first intergalactic Popeyes chicken, Louisiana, fast, yeah. You know, they freaking go and they take their intergalactic chickens and they cook them into a chicken sandwich and they're like, oh man, this stuff good, you know. freaking yeah, like, oh man, like the chickens, man. But it doesn't have to stop at chickens. Imagine freaking beef ramen with actual beef in it. But this beef isn't any normal beef though. It's beef from intergalactic cows, or eating bacon from intergalactic piggies. You know? And no, I'm not talking about the police. No, they're not piggies anymore. It's not the end of the month. It's the beginning of the month because it's July. But anyways, yeah, you know, freaking. It's freaking like intergalactic piggies that going, you know, like, oh, imagine the intergalactic bacon we could be eating. Like, I don't care if it's gamey, I don't care like if it's, you know, kind of chewy or kind of tough. I just want to taste it, man. Like, you don't want to know how badly like as a kid, you don't want to know how badly I wanted to eat a dinosaur, but came to realize that freaking dinosaurs are all extinct, so I could never ever have the chance to freaking eat them. Well,
but then again, now I think about it, I still have that time machine map on my phone. Well, there's an idea, but that's for after the podcast. But anyways, yeah, so, but as a kid, I grew up freaking just being disappointed that I could never, ever find out what a velociraptor tastes like, or what a T-Rex tastes like, or what a freaking, whatever other dinosaur. Triceratops, there we go. Like, those are the only three I freaking know. Or pterodactyl. Because I actually knew a girl in school. Her name was Tara, and her middle name was Dactyl. You know, that was kind of funny. But anyways, yeah, like freaking, like, seriously, like, imagine, like, but now that we truly know that intergalactic chickens, intergalactic piggies, intergalactic cows, intergalactic everything, freaking all these different variations of animals, and not just variations of Earth animals. No, I'm talking about animals that are either extinct from Earth a long time ago, recently, or freaking animals that just never evolved here at all. Freaking they live on these other planets. But they're just waiting, thriving, just begging us, humans, to go travel over there, to go kill them, to go cook them, put them on the grill, make an intergalactic barbecue, invite the entire galaxy. I don't care. I just want to eat these intergalactic animals that we've never seen before. You know, like, just imagine. You know, like, what would you do? Well, what would you do if you ever met an intelligent alien for the first time? I know what I would do. I would cook it and eat it, and then proceed on to run away from the freaking alien invasion that follows. But anyways, yeah, like, seriously, like, just imagine how an alien would taste like. I mean, on a like, especially on a planet like more close to Earth, like to the way Earth is. Like, just imagine how it would taste, man. Just intergalactic meat, so tasty that you could taste it, man. Like, oh, it's just. Damn, like, I can't help but just fantasize about just eating these intergalactic creatures. Like, it's like the one time I went through that really big phase of wanting to eat an alligator, because alligators are the closest things we have to dinosaurs. But still, like, bro, let me tell you, man, intergalactic meat coming soon. I swear, man, I swear, McDonald's is gonna freaking start blasting up into space too, and they're gonna start freaking selling intergalactic burgers to their freaking customers, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be one hell of a ride. It's gonna be one hell of a ride. It's gonna be freaking awesome as hell, man. Like, I cannot wait. I seriously cannot wait, man. Yeah. And everything I'm telling you is straight up fact. Like, a straight up fact. These things exist. You cannot deny. I mean, what are you gonna do? Go to the next planet over and prove me wrong? Just don't go to Mars or Venus, though. Go to Alpha Centauri. But seriously, though, like, yeah, what you gonna do? Prove me wrong? You're gonna take your camera and steal Elon Musk's ship? You know, go all the way to the next galaxy over and take some pictures and be like, there's no planets on here. This galaxy is empty. You know, there's no animals here. Freaking the chickens don't exist. You're crazy. What you gonna do that? I don't know. Why don't you try it? But anyways, yeah, you know, these are unrefutable facts that you just cannot deny. Like, seriously, man. Like, just imagine the alien meat. But anyways, yeah, I'm starting to run out of steam here. I'm getting kind of hungry for chicken, intergalactic chicken. But for now, I'm just gonna have to settle for Earth chicken. Boring. But anyways, alright. So if you made it to this far into the podcast, I would love to thank you for for just listening to what I gotta say, and whether you want to believe everything I say is fact or not, well, that's up to you. But I'm staying true to my words. But anyways, yes, and don't forget to subscribe to the XFlix to the XFlix YouTube channel, because that's where I'm posting my my podcast. That's where I'm posting my podcast these days now. Well, I'm still posting them here on Spotify, but I'm also doing it on YouTube as well. You know, for those of y'all who don't use Spotify, or for those of y'all that that want to use YouTube instead. So there you go. I'm distributing my podcast everywhere these days. Yeah, hell yeah. Except for Apple Podcasts, because they're like, oh no, we hate you because you hate us. And I'm like, oh, well, screw you. But anyways, yeah, here we go. This has been your boy Asiago on 3 a.m. Thoughts. Have you a good one. Stay tuned for the little phone call at the end.
Yeah, hello? Is this Hilo, the soon-to-be illegal alien?
Hey,
Yes, it is I, Hilo, from the planet X. It is I. Oh, what would you like to hear?
Well, so we're good on the whole interview for for next week, right?
Yes, this pleases Hilo a lot. Hilo sure to come.
Okay, well, awesome. Okay, so any requests before you come over here to Earth?
Well, you see, I'm bringing friend along.
You're bringing a friend?
Oh, yes, for a friend. His name Chuzzy.
Wait, Chuzzy. That sounds like an earthly name. Why, yes, it's me. Hi, are you from Earth? Why, yes, I am. Why do you ask?
Well, you see, I was abducted back when I was 12, and I'm 26 now. But anyways, I need you to help. I've been stuck on the ship. He's been doing all kinds of experiments on me. Like, I'm really scared of him, but he won't leave me alone. I've been sitting in the corner all these years. I hadn't heard another human's voice. Please, can you get me out?
Well, I mean, you're kind of about to be gone now. I mean, you're coming back to Earth. I mean, we're going to my studio. We're gonna make a podcast. I'll see you there along with Hilo.
Yes, Hilo, very excited.
No, well, actually, I'm kind of excited to get off this stupid ship, and I'm excited to go back home. But I don't want to go back with this guy.
Well, you're going to come back with me.
No, please, no.